Hey you guys, welcome back to another episode of Soulful Sunday. My name is Hannah and you're watching Dose of Hannah. I'm in my car once again. I just feel like I'm constantly on the go. I don't know why, but this week I was just feeling so uninspired. I also didn't like the idea of me just like feeling this pressure to share something when in reality, like whether I share something or not, the world's not gonna end, you know? The idea of sharing these Soulful Sundays is not to say that I know everything or that I'm the wisest person ever. It's just to like show that God is always working in my life and He speaks to me through the simplest of things. The first Soulful Sunday, I was talking about ministries that have been literally ministering to me and that have been inspiring me. The idea behind me even feeling inspired ever or motivated or like just enlightened, it always involves others. It always involves people. It involves just creation. Inspiration doesn't come from like within. Inspiration is something that you gain from outside. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in today's video. I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the ways that I gain inspiration and just this creativity. Naturally, a lot of people would consider me to be like a really creative kind of person, but in general, whether it's art, music, like fashion or anything really, the creativity that I have, I think that it stems from things that I get inspired with, that I see from others or whatever, and subconsciously it just kind of inspires me and it like sparks that creativity in me. I think we're all creative human beings in general, but it's just about like being attentive to the things that inspire us. The main source of my inspiration is God. I mean, like behind everything that I'm going to mention in today's Soulful Sunday video is God. Like God speaks through creation. He speaks through people. He speaks through all of these different things. And I mean, we are made in the image of God. I believe that wholeheartedly. He is an artist. He is an artist, and I draw inspiration from him ultimately. And I'm going to just list a few of the ways that I gain inspiration, just creativity more specifically. I think that it takes a balance for us to gain inspiration. I mean, it's one thing to constantly just be sharing, and then what? Like you need to have that balance. You need to be investing yourself into things as well so that you gain inspiration, you know? Like life is not all about just teaching and like just, you know, acting like you got it all or you know it all, because you don't and I don't and none of us do really. So one of the ways would be reading books. I love reading books. I absolutely love it, and I actually have a video on my channel of 12 books that I read in 2017, and I just talk a little bit more about those. I also have a highlight on my Instagram page with like recent reads or must reads, I guess. I don't remember what I called it, but I don't know, it just always challenges my perspective on things and just seeing how other people view life, and books always leave me feeling inspired. The next thing would be spending time with people. I think the idea of even reading books is it almost makes you feel like you're spending time with people, and just the idea of storytelling, like I think that there's so much to be learned from that. So spending time with people, old, young, and everyone in between as well. So I think a lot of times we focus so much on like just people our age, but there's something to be learned from the older generations, from elders, and then from kids too. I'm somebody who's always gotten along with like every generation. Most of the time, if I'm with elders, I'm listening to them a lot more, and I'm serving. Not that I'm not serving in, you know, other ages, but it's just, I don't know, it's just a thing, I guess. And then with kids, it's just, there's always something to be learned. They're just such creative people. I mean, we were kids once, and I think that just that lightheartedness and the way that they interact with one another and all of these things, and obviously people our age, just I think these are subconscious things. I just pay attention to these kind of things, and I notice that they do spark my creativity and they do inspire me without really realizing it. So spending time with people, just spend time with people. And if you want to get real creative and real inspired, I mean, just immersing yourself in like different cultures that you're not typically with always. I live in Montreal. It's like a melting pot. I mean, like the church that I go to, and I'm surrounded with like different ethnic groups all the time. So there's always something to be learned when we're kind of immersed in like just like a different kind of cultures, you know? Another thing is listening to music. Music always sparks that creativity and just that makes me feel inspired, like the beats that are being used, the lyrics. In a recent Q&A video that I shared on YouTube, I explained kind of my relationship with music, I guess. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, you can go check that video out. Music is definitely a big one for me. And once again, music from different cultures and just hearing the different kind of beats that are being used, the whole like arrangement of the song altogether, it just always makes me feel inspired, and not only listening to it but creating it. I think in this video I'm really focusing on being poured into, so there's another side which is pouring out and creating and actually using what you've been inspired with to create. The last thing is just to be outdoors. Like, I absolutely love the outdoors. I love the smell of the outdoors. I love hearing birds chirp. I love just being still outdoors, either going on walks or just reading a book outside, and like the smell, the heat or the cold if we're in winter. I don't really spend much time outside in winter. Just everything. There's just something really beautiful about being outside and taking walks, especially. Personally, when I'm taking a walk in like a forest or something and I just look up and just seeing how tall the trees are and looking up at the sky, I'm just always in awe. I'm always like, wow, God, you're so big. Like, it just brings me back to that place of like realizing how big God is. God speaks through nature, definitely. I'm always so inspired, and I'm very attentive to all the details and like everything. When you look at a leaf and like how there's all these little like details on a leaf, and I'm like, what? And there's so many different kind of leaves, and like, I don't know, like these kind of things really spark my creativity. And if you actually think about it, a lot of different things in this world have been inspired by plants or animals. You know, like, just an idea comes to mind. You know, the in French we would say tentacule for octopuses. They have the tentacles, I guess. I don't know what it's called in English, but people have drawn inspiration from those to create those like sticky things in your shower, or like, I don't know, think of anything that has the tentacule thing. That was clearly inspired by octopuses. And like, there's a lot of different things that we draw inspiration from animals and from all of these things, and I think that's really, really cool. So just a few of the ways that I gain inspiration. Some of you may be thinking, okay girl, how is this a soulful Sunday? I thought you're trying to feed my spirit. That's not necessarily my goal, to feed your spirit. Only God can feed your spirit. But I'm just here to share with you guys different ways that God inspires me through whatever it may be. And in today's video, it just tied in with how I was feeling this week. So I hope that this encourages you. And if there are any other ways that you gain inspiration, please comment down below and share them with me. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.